Hi, it's wonderful to see you here. It's been a great conference with lots of deep and technical conversations. But my presentation isn't technical. I just want you to have some fun and hear my story. Every story got a lesson, and mine isn't different. It has a few, and I hope you enjoy them and find them useful. Imagine this. You are a team of professional swimmers. You've been swimming in a swimming pool for years, for 20 years. The temperature's been comfortable, the water is calm, each swimmer has their own lane. It's warm, bright, and cozy. And one day, you're told that the pool will be closing forever. You will have to learn how to swim in the open waters, in the ocean that you've never seen before, let alone swam in. Your imagination goes wild. Strong winds, rough shores, scary creatures. It's how we felt in my organization when we started that migration, when we decided to move from proprietary toolkit to open source R and Python. My name is Katerina Gapanenko. I work at the Canadian Institute for Health Information, a national organization that for 30 years collects, analyzes, and reports health information. There, I led a project of this massive transformation from proprietary toolkit to open source. We have over 350 analysts, and we have tons of code and over 500 products. And some of the code has been developed 20 years ago by people who are not longer with the organization, and we treat this code as vintage wine. Today, I would like to share the story of our transformation. It was a multi-year, massive project with a lot of stories to tell. One presentation ago, you heard Yvonne Kina's story. She was talking about the ripples of change. Her story was about the same project as mine. But I'd like to share my perspective as the business owner. I will tell you everything from the beginning to the end, from top to bottom. And if you're considering a similar transformation in your organization, you may find both stories useful. So 3 years ago, we stood at the edge of a cliff. The water looked powerful but intimidating. We couldn't just test the waters. We needed to jump. So we did. But why we jumped? First, sustainability. Proprietary toolkit has been our safe pool for years, stable, vendor supported, but inflexible and expensive, and it was hard to integrate into existing workflows, and we were modernizing our workflows as well. Second, the talent. More and more analysts come into the organization with existing R and Python knowledge. They were frustrated with our outdated tools. Our existing staff were curious about what's going on outside of these proprietary tools in the open waters. Innovation and collaboration. We couldn't just keep up with the speed of modern data science if we stayed in this closed ecosystem. We felt that we were missing the boat on this one. And that is why we decided to go from closed tools, from proprietary tools to open source. Very quickly, we discovered 3 things that could pull us under. Technical hurdles. We needed to build new environments, new ideas, parallel computing, Git. We needed to learn all about all these tools. And we felt at that time that we see just the tip of the iceberg. Then the next one is cultural resistance. Learning in general is emotional, like waves. It comes with excitement, frustration, anxiety, and joy. Learning major skills at work is even more difficult. As an organization, we understood that this change will not be smooth. The workload. We had a lot of product to deliver, we had too little time to learn, and we had no time to migrate the code. The constant pressure circled beneath us as sharks. If we didn't address it, it could have been fatal. To help us overcome all these 3 dangers, we built 3 aids at 3 different levels. At the organizational level, we built executive support. At the project level, we built a diverse project leading team, a small team, And at the individual level, at the analyst level, we built mentorship and training programs. These three aids help us to survive and succeed. Without them, we might have sunk. Executive support. I see the executive support as a lighthouse, as the beacon guiding everyone through the rough waters, steady and visible, and giving directions. We started gradually. At the beginning, we planned to migrate 50% of our code in several years. But it was very challenging to figure out how to split the organization in two. How do we go about it? Is it going to be right hand and left leg? Is it going to be waist up and waist down? How to decide who will stay in the closed environment and who will go and try the open waters, open source. At the same time, we started talking to a lot of external organizations who started the same transition as ours. And all of them who maintain two systems at the same time told us that it was very challenging because they needed to maintain two servers, they needed to maintain two groups of analysts, and it was difficult to collaborate among analysts and share their code. So we came back to our analysts and to our executive team, and we explained to them all these challenges. And with their support, we decided to make one bold call. Single hard deadline, every script, every dataset, and every analyst. Our executive gave us space and cleared our workload. They made learning a priority for everyone in the organization. They showed their support and they were a part of our celebrations. We created a few KPIs to tell about the progress in training, in migration, and in the environment adoption. Our second success factor was the project leading team itself. Think about it as a rescue team with diverse strengths and skills and tools, small, versatile, and ready for rough waters, and designed to save lives. We had different strengths and different skills. Some of us knew Kai-Hi business, others knew Kai-Hi products very well and the legacy code, others knew R and Python, but some of us were not technical at all. But they were able to read the room and manage emotions, and they were able to organize all sorts of events that we had throughout the projects. Others were great with project management and reporting. We were just a handful of people with different strengths, but we were bound by the same mission. But despite of our diversity, we operated as one crew. We did everything together, brainstorming, making decisions, executing, and we did it fast because we trusted each other. And we built trust around us. We instilled trust in analysts that they could learn and they could deliver. We built trust with executives that our project team could deliver. We showed everyone that the project would succeed. That means being honest about challenging, listening to everyone's worries, trying to unpack those worries and get to the bottom of their concerns and show empathy. All this communication took time and patience. In many cases, we needed to adjust people's expectations and tell them in advance what's happening. In some cases, adjusting expectations wasn't easy. I will give just one example. At the very beginning, our analysts felt that the new environment should be as stable as the old environment. So in other words, they didn't expect the ocean water to be salty with seagrass and jellyfish. So we had to explain to them in several different ways and at several different occasions that is not the case. But through this communication, we also understood their worries. We understood what was the barrier for them and why stable environment was important for them. So eventually we were adjusting their expectations, but we also change our view on what they were worried about. So we found the middle ground. The whole transformation wasn't just technical. It's also emotional. And it's emotional in the first place. Understanding, acknowledging, addressing people's worries is at most important. Then the training. When we realized how much code we need to migrate, we started looking elsewhere to understand how we can deliver the project within the time frame that we set. We explored hiring external gurus or hiring an army of co-op students, outsourcing the whole thing outside of our organization, or using automation. We weighted all these options and decided to invest in our analysts, in the people we already had. We wanted to equip our analysts with the tools and the skills and support they needed. We knew analysts couldn't just jump in the waters and start swimming, so we built a learning ecosystem for them. We created a variety of options for everyone to choose from. It was self-paced or in class, short, long, created inside the house or off-the-shelf courses. At the beginning, they benefited the most from our courses that we built ourselves with our data and our use cases, where we showed our code and converted it throughout the course. Later, they were comfortable with learning, taking courses off the shelf and learning by themselves on their own. Those who were scared to start, we organized Code Alone and Get Together events, where in small groups people were sitting next to each other, actually in the same class. With the support of mentor, they were doing a project together, a small little project but together. That helped a lot. We also gave people Gen AI tools, and not to write the code but to learn the code that was created by somebody else who left the organization ages ago and forgot to leave any documentation whatsoever. They used these Gen AI tools to convert the existing code into pseudocode, in plain English code, to understand it better and to find efficiencies. And also to learn the new code that was created by somebody else in the team. One analyst called ChatGPT a patient mentor, a tutor, available day and night to answer their questions that were honestly embarrassed to ask their neighbors, their neighbors in the office, or their mentor. Altogether, our analysts completed 40,000 hours of training. They were scared at the beginning, and we were scared to give them that much training. But at the end, they appreciated the challenge. And one analyst said, learning was fun. I appreciated the opportunity. It brought excitement to my day-to-day work. But the real game changer was structured mentorship. We hired a brand new team of mentors, not based on their sharpest code, but based on their ability to teach and ability to create psychological safety. Every team got a mentor, and every mentor supported several teams. They were providing technical support, answering questions, help with pseudocode, with R and Python code, with server questions. They also helped build confidence in analysts. They were talking to them individually and in group. They calmed them down if it's needed. Every team went through emotional transformation along the project. But with the mentor's support, they felt safer. Their words, not mine. To see our project on one slide as one image, think of our journey like being out in the open water. There is a lighthouse, the executive support that is steady, visible, and kept us oriented no matter how rough the waters got. It cleared the workload and gave us space to learn. Then it's a small, diverse, and trusted crew, rowing in sync and providing support to everyone and building trust in everyone. They listened, they supported, they encouraged, they appreciated the effort. And then the swimmers in the water, analysts equipped with training, mentors, and the safety net to admit that they didn't know something. Put together, that's how the transformation became possible. When we first stepped into the ocean of open source, the waves looked big and the current felt strong. But today we are not just staying afloat, we are swimming confidently together. We made the leap by investing in our own analysts. Together, 350 people migrated 1.5 million lines of code, over 500 products, and over 18,000 datasets. Today, 100% of our work is happening in R and Python. We started sharing our code internally inside our organization. We are donating pieces of our code in the Common Code repository. Our analysts, our old culture, isolated and cautious, now slowly but surely has been changing to something more collaborative and more experimental. And this is only the shoreline. The future? The ocean hasn't gotten any smaller. Tech keeps evolving. Open source keeps expanding. Health data science keeps racing ahead, and that's okay, because now we are ready for it. We keep learning, keep pushing, and keep building. In the future, we can focus on speeding up our delivery, and that will give us time to learn something new and to innovate. Today, we are not the same organization as before. We didn't just adopt open source, we adopted openness. We see ourselves contributing to public open source projects. Now, many of our clients and partners in Canada and abroad have started exploring open source tools same as us. They started coming to us and asking for advice, for our recipe for success. So today we are not just swimming ourselves, we are guiding others through their own transformation. We are making ripples beyond our organization. I will leave you with this. If you're standing at your own cliff, wondering whether to jump, don't wait for the waters to feel warm. If we could do it, slow, heavy, legacy-bound organization, you can do it too. My advice, jump in. The water is fine. Behind this transformation was a team of people who made it happen. We have more lessons to share. So if you want to talk to us, here's how you can reach us. Thank you.